My name is Benito. Community coordinator of the Unsheltered.
And I'm Kristen Young, the grant manager here at the coalition. I'm not sure I'm the government coordinator for the coalition. I'm not really well. I just started yesterday. I'm more grant coordinator here at the coalition. Morning, everybody. Jill Allen, there is one of these ways to do the coalition on this farm and
So welcome everyone. The other public comments, and if so, I ask you to keep your comments to 2 minutes.
Kurt, this is Greg Baker. I have a comment that the audio in your room is not very good today. I don't know if there's anything you can do about it.
And this is Dominique Cohen. I second that. It's a little muted, muffled.
Yeah, this is Enrique, and the same. I didn't introduce myself in case you went through introductions. Enrique Arreola, San Benito County.
While you make adjustments, I will just introduce myself. Everybody, my name is Alexa Johnson. I'm the Executive Director for Housing Resource Center. Good morning.
Good morning, Alexa.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dana Cleary with CHISPA.
Hi, everyone. Jocelyn Curran with Downtown Streets Team.
Good morning, everyone. Sophia here with Interim Inc.
Okay, great. We'll go with that then. So if no public comment, chairperson comment.
Oh, no, I have a public comment.
Oh, please.
I've had my hand raised. Yeah. This is Marisa Kobolinski from Outreach Unlimited, and I was contacted by the PAIR team. They're doing case management for Medi-Cal participants, and for us it sounds like a really good deal, but I wonder if anybody has used them, heard of them, whatever.
I actually had a meeting with a gentleman named Cooper from the PAIR team this week, and I think it sounds really interesting. I'm trying to kind of do my research just to make sure, but after my meeting with him, it really seems like something that could really benefit our team members. So I am leaning towards moving forward. I'm supposed to meet with Cooper in the early part of the year, but yeah, he also reached out to HRC as well.
I'm sorry, who was the first person who spoke that said that Cooper reached out to them?
This is Jocelyn Curran from Downtown Streets Team.
Okay. Yes. I think we're planning to move forward too on Outreach Unlimited, but people had a question, has anybody else heard of them? So anyway, that's good to know. Great. That was my question.
This is Jill Allen in the room here. Hopefully you can hear me. I've had some experience with your speaker as well. What he's offering is part of
Recording in progress.
One speaker and the person that offering is part of CalAIM, and although we have not worked with them, I believe that they're in.
They sent a new link.
I'm sorry, David, what was that?
I'm sorry. I go ahead.
I was just saying, it appears to be genuine and very legitimate, and if it can be helpful to the organization, we, as with any new partnership, you're going to want to play a little differently and make sure you're well accommodated with your services. But they sound like they're very legitimate and a very good benefit.
Any other public comments?
So CHS is meeting with them after the first of the year as well. And we want to see how they can enhance what we're already doing. So it looks like it's promising.
Okay, everyone, any other public comments? Chairperson comments. A lot is going on. We're in the middle not only of holiday season, but MC Gives for many of us. For those that are not in Monterey County Gives, I challenge you to apply next year. It's a very good fundraiser across the region. So MC Gives is a very positive thing for organizations to participate in next year. In addition, we have bad weather outside and we have cold weather coming, so that means several things for the coalition. I personally ask that you be very careful, and I'm speaking from experience. I sank a car in a flash flood a few years ago and swam out the sunroof. So I'm telling you, be very careful with flooding because I did not see that coming before I lost my car. Do we have any additions or modifications to the agenda today? All right, let's go with member updates, and we'll start down the list alphabetically. If you could introduce yourself and then give a 2-minute update. Access Support Network.
Tim Heaven, Access Support Network. Nothing to update.
Okay, thank you. BACS. Cecil.
Good morning, this is Gina with CISO. No updates.
Okay, and CHISPA.
I don't have any big updates. I can catch you up when I give my little presentation.
Okay, great. City of Salinas. Community Homeless Solution.
Yeah, this is Greg Baker. Just a short update today. As we enter the inclement weather season, we have open meetings still in San Benito Shelter and Chinatown Shelter for both men and women. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Community Human Services.
The Schubin Hart House is open, and I'm wondering if Sean or Evangelina would like the honors of giving the update for the agency.
Hi, Robin. Yes. Good morning, everyone. Evangelina here. So I do have some updates. CHS does have a variety of open positions, shelter monitors, counselors, clinicians, and others. And again, I can provide job descriptions to anyone interested, or if you hear of anyone interested, you can, for those positions, you can definitely give them my information. CHS has hired a facilities maintenance manager for all our programs, and we're excited about that. Our youth shelter will be closed on Christmas Day, and due to staff shortage that day, but thankfully we've had a donor who is able to help with 2 rooms with double beds, and for that night, the hotel manager is willing to take up to 4 youth per room, so we already have that pretty much arranged. We started asking the youth what their plans are, so that way we know which youth will need a room for that night, and we'll make the final arrangements on Friday since full-time CHS staff will be off on the 25th and 26th. Safe Passage is doing well. We have 2 residents who transitioned out to permanent housing the last couple weeks, and we're working on filling those 2 beds for a female and a male. Our program officer, Elsa, is back at Casa de Noche Buena. Currently, we have, so I'm definitely excited she's back. We do have 1 room to fill currently at Casa, as well as 1 single women bed. And here at Schumann, we are doing great. We have our last family doing an intake tomorrow morning for the last family, which is a family of 4, and we have 1 single bed that we'll be filling this week as well, right before the holidays. So we're excited about that. Everything else is going good. Both our shelters, we've had great support from the community donors for the kids and for the families for their Christmas gifts. So we'll be having a dinner at each shelter on Christmas Day for them. And we also just finished I believe it's the Columbia store that did a coat drive for us. And correct me if I'm wrong, Robin, it was, I think it was 2 weeks that they did the coat drive, and they were able to collect over 100 coats for our program. So we're able to distribute that throughout our different programs here with CHS. And I believe that's all I have. I don't know if you have anything else, Robin. Or Sean. I don't know if Sean's on here. That's it.
Not me.
Thank you. CSU Monterey Bay. I know Dorothy's place is here.
Here I am.
So not a whole lot in update. Things are going pretty smoothly. Well, with the exception of the rain this morning, we found out that our social work offices had flooded once again. And we're doing the sandbag thing, but that's pretty normal for this time of the year. Monday, we had our holiday party for our consumers. Everybody got coats, blankets, lots of warm weather gear, and great snacks. And, you know, it took a couple of hours to get everybody through there, but they all came away with a feeling of satisfaction for the holidays. So we're glad about that. Our House of Peace Transitional Living Program is having their holiday party today, and I'm looking forward to that around 1 o'clock today, and everything else is just sort of trucking along. If you have any questions about what's going on at Dorothy's Place or you'd like to volunteer, there's plenty of information on our new website. Please check it out. And everybody have a good day. Stay dry, stay safe.
Thank you, Jill. Downtown streets.
Hi everyone, pretty minimal updates for us. We also had our holiday party yesterday. Our new model changes, we're a full quarter in, and so we'll be starting a new cohort again in January. Participation is great. All of our numbers are higher than what we anticipated, so we're feeling good about that. And we're just making sure everybody's prepped for the weather since our office will be closed next week. Other than that, it is business as usual.
Thank you. Eden Housing. Gathering for Women.
Good morning and happy holidays, everyone. I have a couple updates. One, we commissioned, thanks to a high donor and a grant from the Monterey Peninsula Volunteer Services, a beautiful artwork bench for our ladies that we have lost over the years. We had a little commemoration last Wednesday, and it was very beautiful. Several people told stories of the women that we've lost, and the bench is now on display. People can sit on it if they want, but it's basically a big wooden structure with butterflies, brass butterflies flying off of it. And it was done by Jason Fan. If anyone of you know him, he's well known for making massive artwork out of wood. And it's really a beautiful commemoration of them. We are now open on Saturdays with the exception of this coming Saturday from 10:30 to 1. We're showing movies and offering light snacks. So we're super excited about that new happening. We had about 6 at our first one 2 weeks ago. Last week no one showed up, but I think that's because it was so beautiful out. But we're super excited that we have a place for the ladies to come on Saturdays now. We'll probably expand that in the future, but for right now it's just 10:30 to 1, as I said, and limited services. Tomorrow is our holiday meal. We're super excited about that too. We're having tri-tip, and scalloped potatoes and Waldorf salad, and it's just going to be amazing. And we're going to give out holiday bags starting tomorrow as well with needed items and fun stuff like nail polish and things like that. So that's my update for today.
Thank you very much. Housing Authority. Housing Resource Center.
Good morning, everybody. For Housing Resource Center, we are also trying to just secure temporary housing for our clients and just situating permanent housing, as we also will be on holiday break all next week. We are currently at 103 cases on hand, which is kind of high up there, a little bit more than our average capacity. And our MC Gives is going really great. The website itself hasn't registered from our Hops for Housing fundraiser yet, but I'm predicting it's a little bit over 17,000 that we will have so far. Our goal is 25, so we're hoping that we can increase a few more donations before the end of the year to help our Landlord Gold Standard program. And today we are doing our Christmas food drive from 11 to 12. Rain or shine, so my staff's outside right now putting up tents, and we have donations for about 200 households thanks to the food bank, and we will be passing those out at our office on 60 West Market Street starting at 11 a.m. So let anybody know who doesn't know already, and yeah, hopefully we can get people connected to some food resources for the holidays. And that's my update. Thank you.
Thank you. Interfaith outreach. Interim.
Good morning, everyone. Sophie Akir here. For our updates, for our HUD COC funded properties, we have 3 vacancies, one of which is at Moongate, and we're waiting for that applicant to supply their documents. The other 2 are at Sandy Shores, with 1 applicant selected and 1 unit where we're in the process of getting cars referrals. For our annual holiday winter meal, this is scheduled for this coming Friday at 1 p.m. and it will be at the Omni Resource Center, which is located at 339 Pajaro Street, and we hope all of your clients can join us as well. That's it.
Thank you, Sophie. Meals on Wheels of Monterey Peninsula. Mid-Penn.
Good morning, everyone. Trying to get on camera. I have very brief updates, but a couple of things I wanted to share. We completed our annual resident survey, so it's throughout the entire portfolio, but I wanted to report back specifically about Moongate. A couple of things this survey revealed for our residents is that they feel very connected to the staff on site. The services staff, that's the interim staff, that's the Life Step staff, and the Mid-Penn services staff. So they feel very connected to those folks. They feel that the programs that are provided are meeting their needs. And then they, 9 out of 10 of the consumers felt that they were making material progress in meeting and completing goals. So that, for me, that was really happy news to see, because one of my big assumptions is that there are models that work, and there are models, evidence-based models we know work, and then there are things that we should probably be thinking out of the box with, and I'm not a proponent, I'm not against it, but I'm not a proponent in the first few years of introducing the ACT model, for example, to populations that have been homeless, that have felt abandoned. I think they need to bond with individuals as opposed to large teams. That's my personal belief. And this sort of bears out that assumption. So I'm sort of proud about that. We did score poorly on the property management side, and so we have a game plan on how we're going to be combating some of those comments that the residents made. That's primarily on the property management side. On the services side, throughout, we were really good. The other thing that I wanted to just make note of is that we have an open CalAIM manager position that is about 80% remote and 20% you might have to come into an office. So it's a really good opportunity. We have a number of CalAIM contracts throughout our portfolio, and this would be a great opportunity for someone who has a case management background, because there's a certain component of not face-to-face, but you're working with the case managers and you're advising them. And then there's a lot of the administrative piece, but it's a really great opportunity for anyone who might be interested. We are also closed next week, but we do have staff that will be on site at Moongate and that can respond to any emergencies. Thank you.
Thank you. County Department of Social Services.
Good morning, everyone. Only update I have really is inclement weather. Continuing to work with the coalition. There was a survey link, which I'll add into chat, to try to collect some of our shelter operators' direct contact information. This wouldn't be shared with the public. This is more for helping us coordinate our response during rainstorms. We may have one next week, so it's trying to get as many of us to put in our information as possible, so that way we can be prepared in the event of a storm. Other than that, look forward to the rest of the meeting.
Thank you. County Office of Education.
I am here. Let me restart my video. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, it's pretty quiet here right now. All of the schools are out on break, so catch up time for us. I just wanted to, Alex, I wanted to talk a little bit about the resource guide, if that's okay with you. So, Monterey County Department of Social Services and Coalition are updating the resource guide, and most of you are in there. So if any of us reached out to you for an update in your information or contact information, please do respond. If no one has reached out to you and you want your organization to be in there, reach out to Alex or reach out to me or Katrina, and we'll be happy to talk to you about that. Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Donna. That's a very good point on the resource guide. So that is the tool that we can use for outreach. So please do update it, organizations. San Benito HHS. Enrique, I know you're on.
He got distracted.
I'm sorry. Video button. Okay, so really quick update. We are finally moving in the 20 families that will be participating in this year's winter shelter program. They're going to be moving Saturday, which is longer than in past years. December 1st, the location where we hosted is not available until then. But nevertheless, they're getting into their unit before the holidays, and they'll be there through the end of March. So that's moving forward. We're working very hard in getting a couple of grants. One is a CDBG to build a multi-purpose room next to the transitional housing units that we're working with HomeKey, and that'll be available for the families there. And the other one is the HHAP, which a lot of us are going through that process right now, and just trying to work with the committee over here with a point-in-time count, and had a meeting with McNair and ASR and other meetings here. But nevertheless, things are moving forward, and that's my update.
Thank you very much. Some street centers. Salvation Army. Veterans Transition Center, Lightfighter Village, now has the frame for 2 of 3 stories up on the Lightfighter Village Affordable Housing Project. It is still on schedule to be opened and occupied January of 2025. VTC is negotiating with the Department of Veteran Affairs to add geriatric beds to our programs, and we continue to pursue ADUs that are accessory dwellings that are ADA certified on our property. So we're trying to expand that. Our housing is old, and we would very much like to have ADA certified occupants on the property. So that's what's going on at BTC. YWCA. Okay, do I have any organizations that did not give an update that would like to give one? All right, award time. The Best Dressed Award goes to San Benito County. It looks like Enrique is not only wearing a tie, but a ribbon. Oh, there we go. So Enrique, congratulations on a well-deserved award. The organizations are doing a great job with holiday prep for the clients. We heard about Christmas beds, meals, and baskets. So again, kudos to all the organizations and the good that you're doing this holiday season, the clients. The word of the day comes from Jill, which is sandbag. So I think that's what we'll go with. The word of the month, next month, will be PIT, point in time count. That is the big emphasis, and we'll hear about that a little later. So with that, let's move on to member presentations. We're very grateful that CHISPA is going to walk us through their organization.
Hey everybody, thank you. Let me see if I can share my screen. Oh, I can't. Not while you're up there, I guess.
Try it now, Dana.
Okay. Let me find it. There. Can you see everything?
Yes, we can.
A little awkward. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for letting me talk about CHISPA for a bit. I think most of you know CHISPA. It's been in business for 43 years now. Not-for-profit developer of affordable housing. We have a volunteer board, and what started in the 80s focusing on farm workers, but since then we still build a lot of housing for farm workers, but for everybody. And of course, anyone who's doing not-for-profit development knows that what you build is partly dictated by what you can get money to build for. So that is our plan. We try to find the money, and we try to serve as many people as we can. So I'm going to show you a couple of slides of our multifamily buildings around the county. We have built 333 apartment complexes, which is about 1,500 apartments in Monterey County, San Benito, and Santa Cruz. And 330 of them approximately are senior buildings. So this is a multifamily building here. Here's some senior buildings. The largest one on the upper right is Sherwood Village, and that's where we took an old hotel near the fairgrounds in Salinas and added new buildings to it, but converted the old structure into 140 approximately senior properties, senior units. The upper left is in Hollister. Lower left is in East Salinas. And the one on the lower right is Junsei Oaks, which is in Marina, right across from the MST station. Looking glamorous at night. This is our most recent development. We've named it after Alfred Diaz Infante, and it's 66 apartments in East Garrison. And we are we got our final C of O last week. And so that's how, and for some of the buildings, some we've got a couple of weeks ago, which means we're moving families in now. Some of the funding, just to give you a feeling of how these things are funded, our construction lender is JP Morgan Chase, and our permanent financing through the tax credit program is JP Morgan Chase buying tax credits to get tax credits on their income tax. And that's a big chunk of our permanent loan. And the other funding is Monterey County. When they set up the subdivision of East Garrison 20 years ago, they allowed some money of the tax increment funding, which is the increase in taxes that come when you build new homes. Some of that is coming back. We were able to borrow that from the county. And we also borrowed money from the state Joe Cerna farm worker program. So out of the 66 units, 42 of them are dedicated to farm worker families. We have a little money, but from the Central Coast Community Energy, which is called 3CE. This is an all-electric building. All our buildings are for the last 3 or 4 buildings we've built. So 3CE puts about $100,000 in there, 150, and for which we're grateful. And we, used it towards our solar and towards some of the costs of building electric. We also got a little grant, just so some of you might find it interesting, from the California Public Utilities Commission. They provide funding to finance high-speed internet broadband. And, it's not much that we got, and it costs us more to put it in than what we got. We got about $120,000. It's going to cost more to wire the whole building properly for that. But we are providing free internet to all our tenants in this building, and it does. So it's great for them. That's what this grant requires. That we were already planning to do it, which frankly is why I applied for the grant. But it's going to be good for the families that move in there to have. And then we always provide education on internet and through Loaves, Fishes, and Computers, where everybody's all the adults can take this class. It's about a 5-week, 6-week class, and then at the end they get their own Chromebook. So families that are not really good at accessing, say, the teacher information or the school information, they can learn how in this class and then have a computer to do it. And then we used to always have a community room. I mean, we always do have community rooms, but we used to have a computer room in each building. But now, as time has gone by, what we do is we buy a bunch of Chromebooks and we let our residents just check them out. But we provide the education on how to use them. And that works out well for us. This housing for working people, it doesn't have a particular focus on homeless, but as always, there's always a heartbreaking homeless or almost homeless story in all of these buildings that we do. So I can tell you out of the maybe 8 families that have moved in so far, one is moving with a family of 8 that's been living in a garage, and this the husband had COVID recently. The wife is on disability. Ag season is over, so they were living on whatever savings they had, or the ag that they were working on had shut down for a little bit. And so now they're moving into a 3-bedroom apartment, and their rent's going to be less than what they paid for the garage. And then another family we just learned about is a family of 7, and they had been just noted that they had to vacate the trailer they were renting because it was in terrible condition. It was a 1-bedroom trailer, and there were 7 in there. One daughter, though, is at Stanford on a full scholarship, so she's not in the trailer, but they somehow managed to, focus on education enough for that to happen. And they had to be out of that trailer by December 25th. So they're moving into a 3-bedroom apartment. They moved in yesterday. So they would have been part of the homeless count, but they had applied for this, and to our joy, got selected on our random, number selection. Let me move down a little bit. We have built probably 900 homes over the years. CHISPA started out doing a lot of self-help housing where we had families and groups building housing. That's not as workable today with the cost of land. We kind of switched to just building the housing ourselves. We build all our buildings with our in-house contracting firm, Central Coast Residential Builders, which is 2 guys just down the hall, but they're always on the site now. And then we we build homes, and we use the USDA mortgage that has a nice 40-year amortization and a low down payment to be able to get some people in, or we sell homes more likely to moderate income home buyers now. We've also built homes that we rent. So that's just a look at some of our family homes. Here's some of the interiors of the homes. Recently, we did build 4 homes down in Soledad, and we never did get a good picture of it. But in the back there, you can see that there is an ADU. We built 4 homes with 4 ADUs, and this was on an old detention pond that when we built about 100-home subdivision about 12 years ago. But we had to have one couple lots be detention pond, right? And then recently the city updated their stormwater system, and that pond became available again. And we had already, when we dug it out for the city originally, we put in driveways just in case this might come back to us, and it did. So we were able to take it back. We never actually sold it. It was always ours, and we filled it in. And we have the 4 homes, which we rent, and the 4 ADUs are... Cecil clients are living in there primarily, the 3 out of 4. And we, everybody except one household has a voucher. We're using the Housing Authority voucher list. We have 2 staff people who organize community services in all our buildings. And some of our apartment buildings are in subdivisions we build, so the people who bought homes also can take part in the programs we have at the apartment buildings. We usually on average have 40 community service partners that we contract with and pay, or they have grants separately to provide services. So we always have after-school programming for kids. The YMCA usually provides that, homework help, and we after everybody moves into the building, we do surveys to figure out what they'd like to have. I mean, we know we've had guitar classes for years because one of our tenants is a guitar teacher, but we figure out what people want. And in the senior buildings and in the family buildings, there's always something going on. Here's a little bit more. We try to do community gardens when there's space in our buildings to do it, and we have some really good gardens. I think, let me see here what I wanted to tell you. Oh, this is what I wanted to tell you. What CHISPA builds typically is housing for working families and seniors. We're not a homeless service provider, even though we're on the board here. We're not an expert. You guys know much more about it than we do. But we did build about a 9-unit subdivision. This attractive view are the garages. Oh yeah, okay, here we are. These are the homes. And then one of the homes we did build using some financing, which drives everything, of course, from the state a state program called I can't even say it, but it helped you build housing for people who were with mental illness. They've replaced it with a different program. One of you probably knows, but this house has four bedrooms in it, and we have managed this house. We built it about 2009, I'd say, and the whole time we have had clients of Interim Inc. living there, and Interim provides the day-to-day help to people who may need it, and we provide we own the building and we manage the building and keep it up. I think what we're going to do probably is take the garage and add an ADU in it in the next year, so we can serve one more client. So that should be good. And we'll add a couple of ADUs in a couple of these garages too. Went backwards, sorry. This is Junsei Oaks. This is our other kind of introduction to homeless service providing. This is a 47-unit apartment building that we purchased the land from the Marina Post Office, if any of you can envision that. It's on DeForest Road in Marina, DeForest, and it's right across from the MST bus station, which that's what really caught my eye about this land, that it was next to the bus station. It is diagonally across from the county health clinic, and it's just a quarter block from a Lucky grocery store and a pharmacy. So it's got everything within walking distance. So we thought this is our favorite spot for a senior building. We're going to build it. We're going to buy this land. And then it took a long time to get the financing. And then during that time when I was kind of looking through it, here it is, the Alliance for Health, the Central California, how's it? Central Coast Alliance for Health, decided they wanted to look into providing some funding to help build units that some of their clients, their homeless clients with 2 or 3 chronic illnesses. So people living in a car with terrible diabetes and mental illness, let's say that, who tended to be using the ambulance service as their trip to the doctor. They did not have somebody to help them. They had no family members. Family had left long ago. And so they were a funder of Midpenn's property in Chinatown, and we were probably the second one to use that funding. So out of the 47 units, we dedicated 20 of them to their clientele. And this is a senior building. So these were old people living in Chinatown on the street with illnesses. So we built the building. Every unit has a walk-in shower, roll-in shower, and the all the kitchen it can be adaptable to be easy for people. We bought furnishings, of course, for those 20 units. The other people that moved in were just our normal people, but then again, they were moving out of garages too. It was a hard group. That it was a really welcome building for everybody. Here's another picture of it. This is a little baby elevator because it's on a hill, and our parking lot is slightly on a hill. So if you roll your wheelchair over from Lucky Grocery Store, we don't want you, or we and the ADA code doesn't want you rolling up a parking lot. It's on a hill. So we have a little lift here. This is the back of it. It's kind of a nice little serene garden. It's a lovely building. But, I'm going to be talking to the Alliance and see, now that it's been several years, see how much money, or if they are saving money, by on these particular clients, because brutally, that is really what they're thinking about. They're not interested in getting in the housing business, really, but they want to use their money wisely and see if they can find a way to reduce the burden on Medi-Cal. And I'm sure that our 20 have benefited. This is something that is not new to any of you, but I'll tell you the lesson we learned early is that we thought, okay, we're giving free passes, or this MST will give them free passes, these people, our tenants, for use of the MST. We have people come in and teach you how to use MST. We urge people not to own cars because it's expensive to own a car. But what we know is, in the hearts of many in that building, they can think, I can't drive an apartment, but I can always live in a car. And I've done it before, and I might have to do it again. And I'm not walking away from this car. So we have disintegrating cars in our parking lot, and we have to make sure they're either registered, or encourage people as they become more comfortable that they won't be back in their car, that maybe they can give them up. But that was something that we watched and learned from. And it doesn't matter if you live across from the Stinkin' Transit Center, you're going to keep your car. We've learned with the county that everybody there was sort of a general waiting list that the county had created. The county health department was, I think, selecting the clients originally. And now they have to go through that list and think who is most likely to succeed. It's not going to be just next on the list, because that wasn't always successful with our clients, especially since we do not have a staff. We just have a property manager. We don't have anybody there to be a social worker. And weirdly, we built a special little room for social work. We made a nice locked, safe room for someone to have an office, because the county health department said they would provide somebody full-time to do that, or not full-time, but several times a week to check in and help people. But COVID hit just as we opened this building, and any social worker the county had was doing contact tracing. It felt like to us, it was just like their world was blown up. Everyone's world was blown up, and these people who moved into the building, some of them, it was just horrendous for them. We were hoping we'd have alcoholics. We'd have meetings, and we'd have things to help people along and help people become more social. Because if you've been sitting there just protecting yourself in your tent for all these years, you're not really got the social skills to engage, and we weren't able to have people engage. So that was a really hard couple of years for our residents. But we've got lunches every day. Before we were delivering lunches to people, so they were still isolated, of course. And now we serve lunch through the food bank. We do a number of things, and people have become much more social. And some of the ones that would just flood their apartments and scream, well, some of them are not there, anymore. We managed to get some guy actually sent to a nursing home. It was just, we didn't realize how hard it was going to be for him. But I'm feeling like we're sort of there now. We are not a homeless service provider. We will never be as good at it as Jill is, but we know a lot more. We're people that we're we're real estate developers, but now we know a little more. Let's put it that way. Here's another picture of the building, which is pretty. It is a nice backyard, and we have some community gardens that people are starting to use. Okay, this is a project that we hope to do next down in King City. We need to put together the rest of the funding. It's been a bit of a struggle, but that'll be these blue spots where an inefficient design, but this was the specific plan that the city did, thinking, this is cool, we'll pretend we don't have apartment buildings, we'll make them look like big rich people houses, just 5 little units on each of these parcels, and we're thinking, hard to manage, but that's what we're going to do. And this is another future development in Castroville. We own quite a chunk of land there that we have had for 30 years since we built Morocco subdivision. And we're working on that, going through the process with the county. And so the homes, those are the homes. We have hopes, but we have the Coastal Commission in our way, so it may take a while. They don't want your affordable housing. They don't care. If you're near a slough, miles away from the ocean, but you're in the Coastal Commission, they still will say, no, we're going to have a little fight. But that's, everyone who develops housing knows that the world is full of little sequential fights. Anyway, so that's it. Thank you all. And if you have any questions, I can answer them.
Thank you very much, Dana. Very impressive, all that's going on. Are there any questions?
I just have a comment. I've had the opportunity to work with Dana in a project here in Hollister, San Benito County, and it was just wonderful to work with your organization. You're true professionals, very innovative, and continue to carry the agenda forward in creating affordable, low-income housing. I just wanted to say that because that project is certainly a benefit here in our community. So,
thank you, Enrique. Thanks a lot. We do have actually 4 full homeless people in there. I had forgotten them, but so that was it. They were veterans, and we have a little designated 4 units that the veterans refer to us, veterans who were homeless. So I'm okay. So we do a little homeless up there, but we're still not good at it like all of you guys are. Those are an easy group, though. All right, now.
I have a quick question. Do you have any upcoming projects here in San Benito County? Maybe I missed it if you said it.
I hope to. We hope to. We do have that piece of property. I should just talk to you about it separately. That's next to our apartment building on the other side of the cemetery. Okay. Let's have a conversation about it.
Dana, I was going to ask, what's the best way we could direct clients to follow CHISPA as far as like housing opportunities? Is it a specific social media account? Is it a newsletter? Is it all the above?
Well, we have Facebook. Facebook. Yeah, we don't have a lot of social media, but we do have a Facebook page. And anytime that we are renting a building, we put it on there. But we also, if we're building a building, we put big signs on the construction fence so people locally know about it. We have a newsletter that we create specifically for that development. And anyone who calls us, we put them on that newsletter list. So we do a constant contact kind of newsletter that goes out and updates people. So we try to try to reach out as far as we can so everybody's aware of it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dana. You're doing a great deal of good here. So we're very grateful for CHISPA and all you're doing.
Thank you all. Let me see if I can figure out how to get out of here.
And now, the next agenda item is a coalition update.
Can you guys all hear me from right here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. Alrighty. Thank you. We can go next slide. So some of our staff updates. I know it was hard for you guys to hear, but we have Damien here, who started this week as our administrative coordinator, and we've been doing some shifts within the organization. Oliver has moved over to absorb coordinated entry in addition to HMIS. Crystal has moved from our grants coordinator position into finance. And we have Abrina Ganadin here on her second day with the coalition as the contracts coordinator. So I'm happy to say CHSP is almost fully staffed. So that's really great news. CHSP's office will be closed next week from the 25th and we'll be returning on January 2nd. We're really hoping to be able to make HRC's holiday gathering, and in the event that everybody's projects are finished, will be tentatively closed tomorrow for a couple hours. But we're really trying to make sure that all of our deadlines are taken care of before we can make these commitments. Next slide. So the unsheltered and sheltered point in time count is literally right around the corner. And we're ramping up for the unsheltered count, the sheltered count. So you guys should be receiving information from Oliver by mid-January with our training schedule and all of the sheltered and housing inventory count documents. So please make sure that your staff keeps an eye out open for that. With our unsheltered point in time count, things are going well. We're right on schedule. And we were looking for a deployment center for Salinas, and we just secured that one. So it's going to be a United Way office within Salinas, and CHSP will be holding the Peninsula one, and San Benito County will be having it as our CSWD office. Right now, as of yesterday, our Monterey County numbers for volunteers are at 49. But for each one volunteer survey, there's multiple members within them. So we're still going down. We're still going through the list to get a full count of everybody. We're encouraging everybody to please sign up and share a flyer. Macnor is now working with Patricia Zerinian from Monterey County to assist with getting more volunteers, as she helped with previous years' volunteer recruitment. And San Benito County, as always, they have their teams ready to go, and their census tracts are fully assigned and in process. So for our program side, for anybody who is funded by HHAP, all of our disbursements that have come in are received and in process of verifying. So we're hoping to have all payments out by Friday, so that everybody should be expecting their disbursements next week or as soon as they come back. So if you have any questions on pending payments, please reach out to Kirsten for now, and she'll get right back to you. For HHAP Round 4, the RFP is scheduled to drop in February 1st. We went through the process with our Leadership Council updating them, so keep an eye out for that. And, just trucking along to make sure that we have our application ready for submission for round 5 in March. So our grants department is really busy, and we're so excited to have Abrina on to help Kirsten out. Okay, so for the coordinated entry overhaul, Homebase is leading the effort to review all of our coordinated entry policies and procedures, and they have a survey out. So we would like to have this survey completed. I put the 20th, but we can push out to the end of the week. We really are trying to see who we should be talking to. Any of your recommendations on key stakeholders to engage with the evaluation process, and just get your feedback from a provider level, from a public level, a consumer level, an administration level. So your feedback really is going to help us drive out the process to make coordinated entry, improve coordinated entry for our continuum of care. And with that, outside of the overall taking place, internally, our HMIS and CARS team is really digging deep into our master list and our referral processing. And their number one goal is to make sure that every referral that was received is in process or filled by the time we go on break, so that people are able to start the moving in process. So they have been enhancing case conferencing and mandating this via Zoom with their providers for every referral that comes in. They're prioritizing the master list in real time, and they're having ongoing communication between providers regarding the referrals and how and why clients are being denied to programs. They also have done a master list remodification. So they made it so that this is now like a living, breathing master list. They have added an inactive client indicator. So what our staff is doing, if you could go ahead to the next slide. What our staff is doing is they're making sure that they're making 75 calls a day. So between the 3 coordinated entry staff, they're calling inactive clients on a daily basis. Each one of them has 25 that they do, and they're making sure that they're confirming if the client is still active, if this phone number is correct, if they have self-resolved their homelessness, if they need to be reassessed. We're making sure that that master list isn't going stale, so that we can make sure that we're giving agencies good referrals and that the clients know that they're not forgotten and that we're working that master list. So as of yesterday, 145 clients were exited due to this inactive client filter, and 103 of them have confirmed that they have secured their housing and been closed out of cars. Other people were not able to be contacted, or case managers or the assessors have put their phone numbers down as the contact number and were unable to reach them, or that case manager or service provider hasn't been able to reach that client. So we're going through that list in that way. And they are increasing their data quality by enforcing, I don't know about that word, but they're really working with the agencies to work on their data completeness by doing interim updates and that the assessments are accurate. So now that we have, previously for CHFP, we had one person working in coordinated entry, and now we have a team of 4 people. And 5 people, and they're working through it. They're taking bits and pieces. One person will be handling referrals. The other person is working on data quality, working with running data report cards, and we're really trying to improve both HMIS and coordinated entry internally while we build out, are in the process of building out the overhaul. Next slide. Inclement weather. Alex provided that update, but I just wanted to let the members know that we're reaching out to shelter providers to schedule emergency meetings for tomorrow, so that we could really plan for the inclement weather that is being seen next week while we're closed. So really making sure that spreadsheet, the inclement weather spreadsheet, is up to date with contact information, so that, while all of our staff is out, there are people that will still be working, like myself, and need to be able to contact a shelter provider and speak to someone. So If you guys can talk to your staff to try to attend tomorrow, reach out to me if they haven't gotten Zoom. Maybe I'm contacting the wrong person, but I would really like to connect with all the shelter providers tomorrow. So, you guys might have heard that there is this Youth Homeless Systems NOFA out. Long story short, the coalition will not be going for this grant. We've really met a lot of the deliverables by building out YHCP and are encouraging other agencies to go ahead and apply for it. A lot of the activities that are happening right here are currently being funded by the YHCP funds that we have, and we just aren't going for it. So just a little update for you guys if you're asking why we didn't go for it, and this is why. And that's it. Does anybody have any questions for me or our team?
So it wasn't being shared on the screen.
Oh.
The slides.
Are there any questions for the coalition? All right, do I have any comments from the group here before we take a break? All right, it is about 9 minutes after. We will take an 11-minute break, so we'll be back at 10:20 to do the business meeting for the board members. So see you all in about 10 minutes.